I'm going to change my body alignment and swing along the line of my body and let my club face close relative to my swing path. So I might even set it a little bit closed. Well, watch this. Now I'm swinging along the line of my body and I want the ball to curve back to the left. So watch what happens.
Good curve.
Listen to this. I'm going to say an expression. I squared that up. It was not, quote, perfectly square.
Yeah.
It was not dead square. I got it back to my desired face angle. That's what I mean by I squared it up.
Okay.
My club face was turned left of its path. My path was farther to the right.
Yeah.
My club face was turned in, but my club face was still to the right of my target because my target was where the ball finished. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the ball started where my club face was. So my club face and path did not match on purpose.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is it didn't have to. I curved it back and netted it to my target.
Yeah.
Do you see that's what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have to hit it perfectly straight, and when I refer to square, I'm saying that there is rotation of the golf club to bring it back to our desired angle. See? Whether it's closed to the left and we're swinging left and it's going that way, or whether it's kind of open to the right, and I just did that on purpose relative to the target.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the easy way to think about this. Path is the outside, club face is between path and target.
Yeah.
So there's the target in the very middle.
Yeah.
Path is the outside V, and club face is inside.
Okay. Okay.
Keep it simple.
So I think, if we can work, it's that end gamma torque there.
Yep.
That and body rotation. I've seen on the videos I took. It's I noticed.
Yeah, you hesitate a little bit. Yeah.
No, on the takeaway, sometimes I forget to rotate. So I don't trust the shot. Maybe I'm not committed to the shot. So instead of rotating the shoulders properly here, and I can feel the difference when I think about thinking I'm over exaggerating and turning my back to the target.
Gotcha.
My shot is even better.
Oh,
it's a great shot.
Got it. Well, let's take a look and see you warm up. What club would you start with?
I did some chipping with my 50 over there.
Okay.
But we can. Let's do a 7.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Don. Doing well. Good. Got a little chillier for us this morning.
Yeah.
I stepped out on the coast and I'm like, oh my goodness, man, that water coming off, or that air coming off the water turned down a notch.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad there.
Yeah.
I actually
try to lose the hands.
Yeah, I actually really like. So let me give you a visual here.
Yep.
I actually really like the hand path going back inside this box. Okay. So my club's going to square up, but my hands are back inside. What I'm not doing is taking my hands out there. Okay. The drift or the float, the drag, the lag, that kind of thing. Exactly.
So hands inside.
Yeah, hands inside the club head.
Yeah, but then sometimes I forget to rotate my body and then I have
Fair
to
enough.
flip.
Well, but the truth is, your hands should be reacting to how you post up against your front leg, okay? Your hands should actually, the reason your hands should come back inside is because how you stabilize your front leg and turn.
And I noticed on the driver with the no cleats shoes, I tend to do this. With
Got
the,
it.
You know?
Got it.
So I cheat.
Got it.
Instead of posting, I think there's an issue there.
Fair enough. There it is. That's better. Do that again. Do you still occasionally miss some shots out to the right?
Yeah.
So what I think I see a little bit, what I think I see is that you're I got to tell you, there's a okay. I do not want your arms in front of you. Okay. I want them trailing on your right oblique. And I'll show you this. Watch.
To the right, okay.
Watch this. I sent this to one of my students and very good friends because he's been working. He pulls his arms forward into the shot too early. Look at this. This is Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Watch. I'm going to brighten it up so it's easier to see.
So what?
His arms are on his right oblique.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
They are not in front. They are not in front of the body. Look at this. So they are on his right oblique.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you. Watch this. Right after he hits this golf ball.
Okay.
Right after he hits this golf ball, are his hands going to go that way or that way?
No, they're going to go right.
They're going to go where?
They're going to go straight.
They're
to
going
the
to
target.
go left. No, his hands are going to go up and left. They're going to follow that left leg.
No. I don't
Yeah,
think
they're
so.
going. Yes, they are. Here.
Or you
Yes,
don't have
they
the
are.
next frame.
Three-dimensionally. They are not going forward. I promise you. There's no chance they're going forward. His left hand is sealed, and his left hand is going that way.
Okay.
There's no way his left hand is going like that off his body. His body's turning this way, and the club may be pulling the arms out, but he's going this way. There's no way his arms are going like that. So he's not like this. His hips don't go left,
That makes sense.
and his arms don't go like that, because that's now disconnecting.
Okay.
This arm is going like this. That's where his arms go. His arms go along with rotation of the body. That does not mean he's cutting across his body. He's come in from here. A thought. Tetherball. Tetherball. Think about it. So the, the pole with the string and the rope.
Yeah, my daughter was really good at it.
Here's the deal. Watch. So here's the pole. Here's the ball coming around. Does the ball go more that way? No, it works back around the pole.
Around the pole.
So it goes there.
Okay.
It doesn't go there.
Okay.
It goes there.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do to post.
No, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's got to work back around its center.
Okay.
See? So working this way. So it goes here. This is fascinating. It goes here, right? Like this. Now where is this going to go? It's going to come back around the left post.
Around the left post.
It's not going like this.
Yeah, no dragging.
It doesn't do that. The momentum of the club may be pulling the arms forward. So when the club gets released, so the club's going out, but
then the bovie is going to counteract that by going the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's like it's like a little counter effect.
Give and take.
Yes, incredibly important to understand that the next frame. Watch this. So that with that body rotating, that the hand path will be more up and be more left. While the club, and then here's what's fascinating. The ball will take off, and the club will go left of where the ball took off. So if I have a line going vertical, everything's going to go left of it.
Okay.
Because it does. It doesn't follow the ball. So watch this for a second. This is fascinating. Watch what happens here. If I come in to hit this ball, and I come in from here and catch it that way, my club should go left of the golf ball. So watch this. Is my club left of the ball?
Okay.
Yes. See here.
Yeah.
So watch. Even so the dynamic is, I come from the inside, I square up relatively, the ball takes off, and my club goes left of the ball. Watch this. Is my club left of the ball?
Yeah.
Yes. What we don't want to have is the club to the right of the ball. That's a pull. Watch this.
Okay.
So if I go here and my club gets out here and the ball goes that way, that's not a good thing. See?
Yeah.
My club is outside the ball.
Okay.
We want to either a draw or a fade. Doesn't matter. If the ball goes out and falls left, if the ball goes out and falls right, our club is still going to be left of the ball.
Okay. Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
How are you? So watch what happens. I come in like this. When I swing through this ball, my club will finish left. The ball goes out, and my club will go left of the golf ball.
Oh, so what there's a general saying that we always swing left. There's that.
Right.
That always swing left.
And why is that? Tetherball. Watch, because we're working back around this post. So no matter where I'm lining up, my club's going to wrap back around my post. So my club's going to wrap back around my post. It's not going to go out here. See, that's what we're trying to get to. Okay. So make sure that we don't throw our arms out by trying to chase some illusion. Okay. I like what you said. You relax the hand a little bit.
Yeah. Relax.
Post against that front leg.
Rotate.
Okay, a little steep. Try it again one more time. go. Good swing there.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to really rotate on the takeaway.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic.
Be relaxed.
Okay. That was
That's my
that
miss.
was that. So what you did there?
What's a drag?
Yeah, but so the interesting part about the drag was that you didn't allow yourself to relax enough to allow the club to change direction. So what you did was
So that's beta?
you got back. Yeah.
Beta torque? When you say
Alpha is there.
Okay.
Beta is when it stays behind.
here? Okay.
So it goes a little alpha and a little beta, and then the gamma's in here.
Yeah.
But what happens? We need a little bit of this.
Ah.
Okay. So the interesting part. Watch what that looks like. That is letting the shaft get level early.
I have too much lag.
Yeah. So what happens? You started like this. You had too much tension in the lead hand, and then it went like this, right? So it goes like this instead of letting that motion kind of happen there.
Alpha,
So,
okay.
Yeah. So we want to here. Watch
Release here.
as the elbow comes down.
Okay.
As the handle comes down, the club head goes away.
Okay.
As it comes down, it goes, there you go. Hit that a few times. That's much better. Just like that. That should help you. Now your wrists became more passive, meaning once this started,
okay.
Your wrists were just allowing it to go. What you didn't do is you didn't go like this, hold on to it, and then get active trying to force it. You were more passive earlier in the wrists. Okay?
Passive, go back.
Once the
Right.
club head
Okay.
starts to move, just let your wrists work with it. Okay? Allow the unhinging, allow the torque, allow the inertia. Don't hold the inertia. There, yeah, here. You want like this? There was this little hitch. Once it starts, let it go. There it is. Yes, once it starts, let it go. Okay? Let the alpha go a little bit. Beautiful. Good. Now the interesting dynamic is I'm just trying to get you to not be here coming down, but be here. Let the club be at.
Do that again?
So right, I don't want you starting the club down and being steep. I want the club getting to the level of your hip. The only way that happens is to let a little alpha out.
Okay.
If you go like this, it's like the plane in the cartoons. It's coming nose down. Pull up, pull up. You don't do that. You come in shallower. You don't go like this to this.
Yeah, you have
you
passive
come in.
gradient.
Yeah, right. So what we're trying to do is there. Not even do it again. Not even a throw. Watch. Just let it ease to parallel. Let it ease to parallel. You're holding it steep too long. Let it ease to parallel while your hands are getting by your right hip, behind your right oblique. Let it ease to parallel. You're going like this and staying steep too long.
Yeah.
See?
Got it. Okay.
There it is. There it is. And then now your wrists are more they're set to be more passive. What I mean by passive
I
is
feel more torque that
yeah,
way.
if this
feel
is
it
moving, then your wrists are responding to that club head weight. If you're
Exactly.
going like this, then you have to get real
Yeah, I
active.
don't feel anything yet.
No,
If I go
no,
too
and then
steep, it's
then you-
very hard. Yeah.
Then you can hurt your wrists late. You
Yeah.
don't want to do that. So try it again. Let the alpha happen a little bit more relaxed and passive earlier. Almost. Do it again.
Tried.
Yeah,
Felt a little bit.
the big part is you should not feel as though you're working after impact. Doesn't mean you stop.
Okay.
It just you shouldn't be going like this.
Okay. Yeah.
You should be going like this.
Yeah.
You should not be working
That's what I'm
after
trying
impact.
to find. Yeah.
You got to
Exactly.
get the release more midway,
Midway.
and then you just need to relax through the impact. And what you're doing is you're working after
Yeah.
impact too much.
Okay.
Okay, you're working
Yeah,
after the
that's
golf
what
ball.
I'm trying to work out.
Yeah,
that.
we
I'm children.
no.
Because the pros.
I know. I'm going
Yeah.
after the transition more. I don't want you
Yeah.
to work after impact so much. I understand you want to release and you want to finish that, but you should relax to your finish, not work harder through the ball. Okay? That does. And the funny part about it is, it doesn't mean that you quit. There. Relax back. Don't work hard past the golf ball. Which you should have started it to give you the energy, and then just relax through the ball. Go try it. Okay? So I want to improve your transition to improve your finish. Good. Have a good day.
How you doing, man?
Good, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Better. Good. So let me show you something really quick.
Things happen earlier than I thought.
Yes, here. Yes,
The mind things.
that's the secret. Watch this. The secret is we need to get the club shallower alpha and beta early, okay? The transition needs to be shallow. So watch, I'm not feeling like I'm gonna hit this hard. Watch the ball jump relative to me letting it out right here. Watch this, alpha and beta. Now, so watch what happens. I'm gonna let it out. I'm gonna let it out right here. I'm gonna let it out. Then I'm gonna relax through it. So watch this. I'm not gonna work after the ball.
Yeah.
So when you hear me say now, I'm letting the alpha out. Now, watch this. Now, watch. Now, I let it out up there. See that? That's snapped.
Nice.
See that? That snapped. So what I did was, I went like this. Now, started to go. I didn't go like this.
That's the key. Yeah,
Now.
Yeah. That's
I
very
went.
good.
Now.
Now.
There's
Yeah.
where it goes. It's
Yeah.
got to be earlier.
Yeah.
It's not throwing it, but I've got to let. Watch this. First of all, no words. Watch. Just watch the club. Here. Watch the club. Watch the club now. This is not right.
Got it. Yeah. Coming over the
Watch
top.
club. Yep. Watch the club.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's the club. That's a club.
You're sitting properly
Yeah.
there.
What it's not doing is going like that.
Got it. Yeah.
See?
You got it. Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
club. So
Yeah.
Here, no words.
So, okay, so that's that early alpha release that you're doing.
Then where does this go?
Perfect in line. In
See?
plane. Yeah.
There. 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 I didn't
Perfect.
go like that.
No. Okay.
See, I didn't roll it over. It did rotate.
Okay.
There is rotation when it's
Yeah.
going this way. There is rotation, but it rotated to neutral. It didn't roll over to closed. Okay, big difference. Big difference. Let's try to get better at that transition alpha. Let's try that. It's not a throw. Okay, let's get better at that transition alpha.
Okay.
So let me help you without a ball for a moment. Set up to the ground. Here's the spatial awareness of the golf club. Here. Just feel it. Just relax and feel it. Watch. Here. 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 Not there. Okay. There. Yes. 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 Very good. There you go. That's brilliant, Consolo. Very nice. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Let's go ahead and hit a few shots that way. Good. Again. Earlier transition gamma. Or excuse me, alpha. Excuse me. Earlier transition alpha. Try it again. Earlier transition alpha.
Whites or blues, I don't care.
Come on now. Here. How easy did that feel?
Much easier. Much easier.
Your wrists were passive. I gotta define this for a second, okay?
Okay.
Yes, watch. Okay. So watch what happens here. So if I put my hands right here and I move my wrists, I'm being active with my wrists.
Okay.
Okay? I'm rotating. But if you put your hand out and somebody lifts my club and you can see my wrists moving, my wrists are passive. The club head's moving, but my wrists are moving. I'm not moving the club. My wrists are moving because the club head's moving. If it goes side to side, my wrists are moving, but because they're passive.
Yeah.
If there's rotation of the club, because there's torque or force, my wrists are moving, but I'm not doing it. Now the problem is, by definition, when somebody says, I want your wrists to be more passive because they don't want to be active, what they do is they start holding on, and now they won't move at all.
Yeah.
That's not passive wrists.
No.
That's actively resisting allowing momentum to the club head. Passive wrists are when this club gets going, my wrists are allowing, they're now facilitating and going with it. And when my wrists come back in, they're responding to the momentum of the club head. That's what I mean by passive. The wrists are changing constantly in the transition. They are not staying static. They are not locking out. They are constantly changing, and then they're working back in towards the core, and that allows the club to line up because I'm reacting off of this pressure. And then when I'm able to stay long with the neck, I can clear the thoracic, and there's the release. There's passive, right? My wrists are moving, but they are responding to momentum, torque, and inertia to the club head. If I misinterpreted passive, I might hang on, not wanting to be active, but what I need to do is I need to make sure that torque and inertia is allowed to happen in the swing, and that's how the wrists work. They work more passively. So a very competent golfer says, I did a lot better, or I became a better player when I took my hands out of it. They took active hands out of it, and they came to passive hands. That did not mean their wrists stopped working. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
Passive does not mean restricted. Passive means reacting to the torque and the club's momentum, and then responding to the momentum being released. And so that's a really important point, because too many people get lost to where all of a sudden they go away and they go, oh, I've been too wristy, so then they become no wristy. That's not good. That's not good. That's not what we want to do. So what you experienced when you hit that softer shot a moment ago was softer, earlier wrists that allowed you to become more passive throughout the whole motion, instead of hanging onto it at the beginning and then having to correct for it at the end with active wrists. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need your transition to improve with a little bit of earlier alpha.
Yeah.
To allow your hands to be more neutral, more passive throughout that motion. That does not mean that they're not changing. The wrists are part of it, but they are a passive part of it.
Yeah, they're going along for the ride.
There you go. But they are moving. They are changing. The angles are changing throughout the entire forward swing of the club.
Yeah.
Okay? So don't resist because you don't want to break down the wrists.
But the wrists are passively reacting properly because we are setting up the momentum torque.
Yes.
We're setting up the momentum torque with our shoulders.
Yes.
We're positioning
honestly,
the wrists in a certain 3D position.
Honestly, a little bit, because when you say 3D position, you might be talking a little bit of negative beta, which is good because that allows the gamma to whip the club around faster.
Okay.
If you're over here, you don't have any beta to gamma.
So we create that momentum torque with the arms. We're positioning the wrist in 3D space.
Yeah, it's still relative. It's still relative to the lever and weight, and kind of working linear to rotational kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
But what happens is if we just go like this and we swing it rigid, we're not letting some of the dynamics happen. The hinge, the load and unload. See right there, I feel tension. Relax. I don't want tension there, because really what should happen is this drops in, this goes away.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's fascinating is you're asking a very, very real, technical, answerable question to physics. But is that the way the player thinks in less than a second?
No, because
there's no chance.
The swing is less than a second.
You just want to know the truth of what is being applied in leverage. The truth is how we use our pressure in our feet, front and back, or back to front, behind, away from our center, is how we shift and we use our pressure, and then basically within that movement, as we are turning our torso, turning our rotation on a little bit of an angle, and we shift a little bit. We shift a little bit, we change and work pressure between our feet. When we start putting pressure and leverage against that front leg and then pushing against the ground to internally rotate on our hip, then what that does is that triggers our left hand to start working in and releasing that club. So it is not timing, it's alignment.
Oh, okay, yeah, alignment. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dustin Johnson is in the photo. Dustin Johnson is perfect alignment.
Perfect alignment, and then going through, I'm reacting and releasing.
Yeah.
So what would be faulty is if I held this club back and I was trying to pull here.
Yeah.
That club head needs to be going, and my wrists are working it to be working, responding to that foot, and then that's driving this scapula back, keeping this neck out, letting the thoracic turn, and release that golf club out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's truly reacting from foot pressure to allow your wrists to be more passive. If you don't use the ground right, your hands will have to do too much, or they won't do anything at all, and you'll block and stab at the ball. So the fix is earlier alpha to allow your pressure to set and let the wrist to be passive through contact. Then eventually, what I just said right there, where I was trying to simplify it, might be soft hands. It might be post. You might get to one or two words that mean everything that we were just talking about. There you go. There you go. Now here, what you did not do though, freeze right there, watch. What you did not do was just a little bit of that bump, just barely.
A little sway.
Just barely to get some pressure. You know, maybe you go from 65-35 to 65-35 the other way. Maybe you go from 60-40 to 60-40 kind of thing. Who knows? But what happens, you just get a little bump off of to where, oh, okay, got it. I just need to get a little from the insides of the feet and that little center of balance. Because anything we do athletically, watch this, we have to change our center of mass. Yeah. Anything we do, so watch, look, do I go like this? Watch. Do I step without center of mass? No, I move my center of mass.
Yeah.
There it is. And I'm not asking, here, look at this. Just move your center of mass like that, just barely. Just barely to get it triggered. Do you get my point? Yeah. A little center of mass and a little bit of alpha, early alpha. Okay, watch, I hope this helps. Look where I'm going right here. For me to walk, look at this. I have to move my center of mass, then step. See, I don't go like that.
Yeah, it's not efficient at all.
No. So I move the center of mass and then go. So what we want to do is we just want to move a little bit, just a little bit, and get the alpha started. Does that make sense? I'm trying, here, you see what I'm doing? We talked about it very technically, and then I'm trying to pare it down into a smaller, much easier digestible piece. Just allow your swing center.
That's the hardest thing in golf.
Incredibly difficult.
Is the dissociation between the pelvis and the thoracic spine.
So
I can do in rehearsal. I can do this.
Right here. No, just a little bump. Try it.
In real life.
Right. Just try it. Just a little movement of the center of your body.
So in real bump, you can do
here, just a little bit, but here, right there. There. You need to do them simultaneous.
Yeah.
You need to get them closer together to where that triggers that. Okay.
Yeah,
very good.
This one is always lagging behind.
Yes.
So then I'm catching up. Okay.
See? There it is.
Okay.
There it is. And then that transition for you, Gonzalo, will help you become much more passive with your hands reacting to foot pressure and then clearing more relaxed and extended, okay? Yeah. Very good. The wrists are definitely working more passively. Good. Good for you. Good. Do it again. Almost. Keep those hands in just a touch more.
Anyone need a scorecard?
Yeah. All I'm trying to get you to experience there is a softer ball feel right off the middle of the face. Okay. Here. Passive hands is an action. Doesn't mean that they're active.
Right.
But passive hands are moving dynamically. Passive hands are reacting to the club's torque. Yes, there. Passive hands do not mean resist that momentum.
Right.
See?
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's actively resisting.
Except if we do the wrong move, then we have to catch up, or
Here,
the hands are.
you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, watch. What is the first thing? What is the first thing that happens for me to walk?
It's to move your center of gravity.
Is to move my center of gravity
forward
and then step out.
and step out.
So what I have to do is I have to fall and catch. I fell. That's why kids that are standing, they're strong enough to walk. They just go, holy crap, I gotta fall. Watch, I gotta fall and catch, and then fall and catch again, and fall and catch.
Yeah, we're
and
constantly
fall
falling.
We're constantly falling. Watch, I am falling and then catching my balance. I am falling and catching my balance. That's exactly how we learn to walk. The reason kids are standing like this is they're like, holy crap, I gotta fall. Watch, because watch, they're not gonna go like this.
Is that because we, when the expression of being stuck, it's because we forget the alpha beta and we move the
Yes.
center of gravity forward.
Yes, and then you're just so watch.
We're not
right.
releasing-
The upper body's going a little bit early instead of going a little bit more into here, whatever. But really, what we want to do is I want your arms to be here and help brought to the ball with rotation. And if you go here, here's what's fascinating. If you try to pull your arms to the ball, your body has to stop. So if you go like this, and you try to you're trying to rotate and bring your arms forward, if you're trying to go like this, at some point you're going to need to stop to get that break.
Yeah.
So you go like this. But if we can go here, if we can get going like this, and if we can get going here, then all of a sudden is our rotational center, our belly button is moving and allowing that to come in, and then we go right here to that release. Does that make sense?
Most of the time, I don't feel, I have no torque here, so I have no feel of power.
But what's fascinating, it's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
What we're hoping for is more of this. See, we're hoping for more of this in the transition to allow this. What happens when people try to keep their arms back, then they resist that torque. We can allow that torque to go instead of resist that torque. Now there's no club head speed, no momentum. So let's try to build off that. Fantastic. Definitely let it out too. A little bit of your center of gravity, and early alpha. Okay, do it again. It's all right.
Here.
Yep. Nice. Good. Again.
Am I too far from the ball? I tend
Could
to
be.
think
Could be.
or too
That
close, or-
would if you're too far from the ball, that'll pull your center out into your toes a little too far.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Just want to have your weight and pressure a little more over your footprint, not too far forward into your toes. Here, that was all turn with no alpha. That was all rotation with no alpha.
Okay.
You were just going like this, and that's why the club never got fully out. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
No problem. No, here, no ball. Make your backswing from the ground for a moment. I'll show you something. I don't think you rehearsed your change of direction as effectively as you could there. You made a whole move, and I just want to see the change of direction get better. So go up to the top, go up towards the top. Okay, so now right here, watch this. Okay, I have the club head here. Let your elbow descend, let your hands move, and let the club move. That's it. That's it. Just get that going earlier. Now, let this start moving open against that front pressure. But see, right there, watch. You don't move this, no, keep this here for a second. Okay. You don't move this open with this having no speed. At this point, it's flying.
Okay.
When this is opening up, you're not driving that, you're clearing this, okay. But at this point, this is going fast. See? So that club head is now starting to really fly. There it is. Open the hip, open the left hip, and then let that club head, there it is. That's how you get that. So the clearing the left hip allows the energy to pass through at the bottom.
Yeah.
From midway, from right here, just so you know, from right here, when that club is going this way, it's now just releasing. There's no holding. So when your left hip is opening, that's when that club is transferring speed. See, you're not driving your hip to try to build up momentum. You're getting the hip out of the way to allow that speed to go. Okay? The hip's actually decelling coming into impact. It's just opening up. Okay, so the earlier movement of the hips were where they were fastest. When they're opening up, they're actually slowing down. There you go. So getting the left hip out of the way is not accelerating the left hip. It's clearing the left hip to let the club head snap through. Yeah. Okay? Don't drive the left hip and try to pull the club in. What you're doing is letting the club go and getting the left hip out of that way. Yeah. Okay? You're not forcing or thrusting the left hip to get out of the way to try to accelerate the club. What you're doing is easing the left hip out of the way to allow the energy to go through. So by pushing it, set up again, one more time, go up towards the top. You're not going to hit the ball so you don't kill me. So we're here. Now, start to move your center just a little, okay? Elbow down, handle down, and club head away. Now right there I feel tension. No tension, no tension, no tension. Good. So there it goes, bang, right? Now let the hip open while the club head has speed. Yeah. Do not, so do me a favor, start to open your hip. Create some tension here. That's not the way it happens. When this hip is opening, this is going fast. See? There it is. There it is. And your left hip should be clearing based on pressure on that left foot that's pushing out of the ground and letting the hip turn. It shouldn't be just go, oh, I want to turn the hip. It should be pushing against the ground. So when my son's throwing a chest pass to me and he goes like this and starts to throw it before the foot's on the ground, I'm like, Tyler, get the foot on the ground and push against the ground, snap it out. Get the foot on the ground and then push, look at this. Push against the ground, boom, back, boom. See, you're pushing against, so when you get that foot on the ground, that's your base to be able to push against that and go snap. When he goes like this, look, when he goes like this, trying to throw it before the foot's in the ground, you can only generate this. The foot gets on the ground, now the force is going back into the body so he can push out more. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. It's the same way with the left hip. Get the pressure against the front side and push against that ground so that your hip will open up. It's not the same thing as just saying, oh yeah, just clear your left side. It's push against the ground so the club can get through. Okay, very good. There it is. Now that was a state of pure release. Your hands were much more passive. Yeah. That was fantastic. Yes, sir. Keep doing it. Keep doing it more. Exactly.
That post on that left leg.
Excuse me, is this yours? I think I heard it just fall. Oh, of course. My pleasure. Of course. Oh, that is so much better. Here's so the key to this.
The legs are more active.
Yes, but the key to this is watch. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to bump, and then watch. I'm going to tip. So I'm going to bump and tip, and then all of a sudden is. See, that had momentum. I didn't just pull the handle like that. That had momentum.
Right.
Okay. So again, watch. So it goes here. There's a little bump, there's a little tip, and then there's torque.
Yeah.
See, there's the speed.
That's something
this
I
is not
just
speed.
figured out is the late acceleration here. I thought the acceleration was, I mean, it's just down here, between here and the ball.
No. Here,
You have to.
the acceleration, I'm glad you said that. The acceleration, watch where it goes right here, Gonzalo. As the club hits back and I change directions, when this gets lined up,
Yeah.
this is just going. At no point now is this pulling forward.
Right.
What it's doing is elliptically moving upward, and that is just purely going. From about here, there's a little bit where it's starting to get going, and then from here it's pure release.
Okay.
But here, let me ask you, do that again. What are you doing from here? What should you be doing?
I'm posting on the leg.
Which pushes that back and pushes this back.
Yeah.
But keep your chin here.
Behind the ball.
Yeah, go ahead, turn. So you gotta turn your chest to the left of your chin.
The chest to the left. Okay.
Look at this. Here's my chin, here's my chest. You gotta turn your chest left of your chin. You're going like this.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
You got to get your
Okay,
chest
so here.
rotating. Yeah, rotate your chest left of yours. There you go.
Okay.
Now, once you get there, go ahead and do that again. Keep going. Once you get there, now release the whole thing. Now go. There you go. But don't let your chin be moving with your left side.
Yeah.
Let your chest rotate past your chin.
Yeah.
Try it again. One more time. Post and alpha. Good. Do it again. Post and early alpha. There it is. So let's go ahead and hit it. If you post really well, that should drive the left hip internally and drive the scapula back. Okay, and look at this. None of this. None of that. Keep that neck free so you can get out of there. Keep that neck extended so you can clear your thoracic. You were already talking about that earlier. Good. Much better.
We're doing.
Good. How are
Happy
you?
holidays.
Yeah, and you as well. You all right?
Yeah.
Good. Nope. A little bit of this. Not enough of this.
Okay.
Okay. The club didn't get here. It got pulled over. It got pulled over a little bit steep instead of letting it out to get shallow earlier behind your center. Club needs to get to here, and you had it coming over steep. Just a little bit. It wasn't massive, but that's why it's no. Because you come over it, then you got to actively try to compensate. Okay. Right.
So when I hurt my wrist.
Yes. And what I'm asking you to do is earlier alpha. Like get the elbow down, get the handle going, get the club going, and then get the right shoulder under a little bit. But do it. There you go. So when I came to work today, when I was by the ball machine, I did this. Watch. Ouch.
Okay.
Watch. Ouch. Honestly. Ouch. Look at this.
You're pretty flexible.
Here. Ouch. Ouch. Paul knows my back was killing me this week, right? I could hardly, honestly, I could not stand last week. I had to cancel 4 days of work because I physically had to slide myself to the end of the bed, straddle the corner, get my hands right here, and push myself up, and I'm doing this for you less than a week after that. You see what I'm doing? Ouch, right here. I can feel it through my glute and through my back. But this shoulder, watch, this shoulder does not go like this. This shoulder goes under the chin.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
All right?
Yeah, you have a forward tilt.
Yes. Yes.
Here. That's something.
Yes. Your trail shoulder has to clear your chin underneath.
But that's what impact we should keep that forward tilt.
Hold. Wait.
Right?
Stop there. Yeah, stop there. Watch. We're here. Keep this out of the way. Keep the chin out of the way. This opens to give this room.
Yeah.
See? Your left hip and your right shoulder are connected in what they need to do. Your left hip needs to push back because of the not this. Careful. Watch this. Not this.
No. Right.
This.
Yeah. The spine has to
not
stay.
you don't move the spine. You're
Right.
not moving your upper spine
Right.
forward.
Right.
It'll rotate through,
Right.
but you don't move the upper spine
Right.
forward coming into contact. That's the no-no. Okay? That's the no-no. Rotate the trail shoulder. You are releasing your sternum, but you do not want to have your head moving forward, and that's what you were doing in that little example.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here.
Earlier alpha, that was too steep in the transition. There you go. There you go.
Huh.
Okay, so I want to tell you, the first 2 swings that I made today with a 6-iron, I was too steep. The next 5 to 10, I released it to level. I moved early because I was focusing on my hip, or I tried to keep my chin away. In the first 2 swings, I came over steep and felt that adjustment. I didn't get mad, I just paid attention. Then what I did was I got earlier alpha, and it goes, just took it right off, and the ball flew out there 200 yards against the wind in the cold air, not the 6-iron. I switched to my 3, but my 3 still got to the yellow and white. But it was like, wow, this is cold, and no, I wouldn't want to be playing today. Not in my first choice, because it's cold and the back could tighten up.
Yeah.
But what I did was, I just
You have to
let
walk the course, Dan.
Yeah, no,
to warm you up.
Here, but this is what I'm saying. I just let the club head out in alpha and then carried it under.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I let it out and carried it under. Okay, so just trying to shake. So
Yeah, I felt better when I did that. Yeah, it's.
Just to share with you, all that I'm saying, I don't want you to remember all the words that I'm expressing, because what it could be is early alpha carried under. That might be it.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so try it again. Let's react to the feet better.
Okay.
Nice, nice. Nope. You went like this.
It's a good miss. Highway again.
Yeah, but you still here. You still actively pulled on the handle. Okay, and you were dragging the handle.
Yeah.
Yep. Better.
Okay.
Better. And out here, you know what's gonna here? I'll just say, you just need to shallow your transition better. That's truly, if I may, watch.
Okay.
So now that you know what we're saying, blah 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 blah. Now you'll understand what
What you're saying, yeah.
I could be the most upright swing in the world, but I need to shallow my transition. What you're doing is going like that, and you need to go more like that.
Okay.
Okay. So what was that? Alpha. See? What is that? That's early alpha. What you're doing is doing the alpha too late.
Yeah.
What we need to do is do that alpha earlier. So here's an external thought.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get the club here. I'm going to hit it more from the side. So in this motion, I'm going to get earlier alpha, earlier shallowing.
And beta, you're
both.
You're also laying out the club off.
A little bit, sure, because there's a little external rotation in my shoulder instead of internal.
External.
There's a little external rotation.
Okay.
What happened is there's that little. See where it's going? It's shallowing. That's what I mean by shallowing. It's not just dropping it; it's actually shallowing it. See, giving it width, and now I can land the plane. See, that's the goal. So when we come in here, I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to try to get some early alpha, which helps me shallow it and make a little more level strike. That makes sense? So I could be a super upright swing. It doesn't matter about upright or flat. What I need is shallow.
Yeah.
See, what I need is shallow.
Yeah.
And this is steep. When you hold those wrist angles off, that is a steep change of direction. We have to shallow your transition. Very good.
Okay.
And what torque is the most shallow for you?
The
Alpha. Alpha lets it get away. Beta helps you create some more speed. Okay, beta is just where the center, where the club, where there's a little bit of this.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. But here,
Okay.
you don't really have to think about that as much as just let it start.
Here, here.
Yeah. There you go. So you're going to go away from this practice, Gonzalo, and this is the concept that you're going to think. You just need to shallow your transition sooner with more alpha. That's the concept. You need to shallow your transition earlier with alpha.
With more alpha.
With more alpha. That is the whole concept of the practice today. Earlier shallowing of the club with more alpha.
Head on down and get away, and hopefully your buddy will be down there shortly.
Great. Great. It did not go right and it did not go left. I know you hit it a little bit heavy, but still, it's squared up. Remember, playable face angle. Okay?
But I felt after impact, my hand path were here.
Here,
instead of-
just so, no. You don't go like this. What you do is push against the ground and let everything clear back.
Okay.
Don't direct your arms anywhere.
Okay.
The arms are reacting to how you're using or not using your feet. Use your left foot better.
Ah, okay.
Use your left leg better to internally rotate the hip and then push the scapula back and then get extension. Don't push your arms forward. Okay? Don't push your arms out. Just use the leg, use the post. Post against the front leg and clear the swing. See, the problem is when you go to trying to push against the left leg, you forget the alpha first.
Yeah.
You got to start it with alpha and then clear.
Okay.
Here, you can't, look at, watch. You cannot black out in the alpha. You don't do it well enough to black out in alpha. Do you
Okay.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've got to do it better, plain and
Yeah.
simple. You heard what I said.
Yeah.
The priority of this. So you brought, when I praised you for doing it well a moment ago, you brought it back to what your finish looked like. I'm saying you need to stay on the alpha for a while, and then we'll clean the finish up. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. We need earlier shallowing in your transition with more alpha. Earlier shallowing of the club with more alpha. It's not a throw, but it's letting it out. There you go. There you go. Earlier shallowing of the shaft with more alpha. Okay? Beautiful. Good. I want your misses more playable and manageable and hitting them better. Now, the interesting part is, if 10 people were listening to what we were talking about the golf swing, I know you understand what alpha is. I might not use that term with the other player. It's okay. Earlier shallowing of the shaft in the transition with more alpha. Okay? Do that again. You cannot black.
I'm an engineer, so
Here's
terms.
here's the deal. You have got to create the earlier, like load and unload has to happen earlier. It is not waiting till late.
Yeah.
What you're gonna, by pushing out of the ground, we might be able to get, but what happens is we're not actively doing this. We're responding to this going there, but we're not waiting. We start it and then push out of the way, and it gets going fast like that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. More shallow transition with more alpha.
Perfect. And then really, then really coming into impact, you're going to actually have some probably ground reaction force. You're probably going to have some bound and rebound where you're pushing out of the ground, but your wrists are reacting to that momentum and force. You're not trying to force it over. They're reacting to the sling or the torque or the whip or the inertia, whatever that's happening there. Okay. So try that again. Earlier alpha.
That's the same with the driver.
Yes,
with the
absolutely, yes.
The same so with the longer the club, hybrid, 3-wood,
you don't get away with as much.
you don't get away.
You
with
better
Okay.
be shallow in that club with the longer clubs. So you can get away with being a little stabby with your wedge. You can't stab a driver, okay? So you can get away with the shorter, more lofted clubs of being a little bit steep and coming down because they have more loft in their shorter shafts. But you start sticking a 3-iron in the ground and the ball just doesn't go up in the air properly. It comes, you're doing all of this trying to make room for that longer shaft, and you're skipping the plane off the runway. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Right? We want to land the plane on its wheels.
Yeah.
Okay? A more even, neutral, shallow angle of attack. Earlier alpha. Yeah, and here's the interesting dynamic. Being that you're an engineer, here's what happens. What is the purpose for earlier alpha? Shallow the club.
Create a momentum torque.
Yeah, but shallow the club.
Show the club.
To shallow the club. Watch. So theoretically, what it is, it's to shallow the club like this. It's to shallow the club so I can land the plane. If I go like this, good luck. If I go like this, I can now, from here, it's a side-on game. I can come into the ground so much more shallow.
And come from the inside.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I could be upright too. Upright does not mean I'm steep. That's steep.
Okay.
This is okay. That's alpha.
Okay.
The alpha, I could be upright, but the alpha lets me get shallow.
Yeah.
If I go like this and I don't have alpha, then I'm steep.
Yeah.
Upright and steep are not the same thing. We're not talking about just a two-dimensional angle from the video, right? I could be flattish, more rounded, and I could still be steep. See, what I want is I want some alpha, right, in the change of direction to get the club shallower, so that I can then come in from the side.
Yeah.
And not come in from so on top of it.
Yeah.
That's the
Can
difference.
we use the 3 wood?
Yeah.
Can I use
let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Because it's a club I lost.
Sure.
I'm using the 3 hybrid more. And
But what we just talked about should really help you too, is that you really need to get that momentum started properly.
what time is it?
It's 12:44. We're good. Are you playing today?
No,
Okay.
I could, but if somebody forces me to.
That was here, handle path out with the club staying on top.
Okay.
There was not enough alpha and beta back here. Plain and simple.
Okay.
I just
It's
sell
harder
out.
with the longer club?
Just sell out to the club being released earlier. Release your left wrist earlier. Okay?
Yeah.
Just sell out. Earlier shallowing with more alpha in the transition. See? See? Did how it whipped off the club. It whipped. You stabbed it on the one before, and I'm just here, just by physics, just so you know, you were right when you were going the torque and the inertia or whatever when you answered the alpha. But what I was really trying to get at was if we need to land a plane like this, we don't want to come in and start like this.
Right.
We have to start from here, and
Okay.
it's so much easier. That's what alpha does.
Yeah.
Alpha does that. Now, that also gives you the tipping point where the momentum and the torque are going in here. By physics, watch what happens. I'll show you. Okay. So angular by definition is rotational. Okay. So here's a little bit of linear for about a foot.
Yeah.
But watch what happens. There's this elbow tucking and the handle going down, and the club goes away. That's alpha. That's it. Yeah. There it is. So by physics, by fishing, right, a fishing rod, watch this. So say I go linear for about a foot, then it goes boom, then it goes pop. I don't keep going like this with the rod the whole way. I go like this for a moment, and then all the force goes to that club head. My wrist let out, right? So I went this way to that way. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to go like this, but we don't just throw the club in the ground. What we do is we redirect so this is really fascinating. Man, I don't have the video to support it right now, but Dr. Kwan Woon or whatever, I mean, here's what he does. This little stick figure of this guy going like this, all of a sudden in the change of direction, watch this. You see this little thin line, this little graphic line go up really thin like this. Then when the club is approaching impact, the thin line's going back like this. So the force is going up here. So we go whoop, right? So here's the club going like this. You're going back like this. You see everything, the center of mass. The club's moving here. There's the alpha. And what happens is this force line's going like this. And then as I approach impact, the force line is no longer vertical. It's starting to go back like this. And what happens is there's where that whole force is going right there, right? So there's a little tilt. That's why this is death. There's no power. There's no power. I mean, you can push it in there, and you can kind of fake it or whatever, but there's no power. The idea is that when we're going from right here, and there's this little pressure that got stable right there, then we're pushing against this. What happens is here's this little arrow, and upon moving right here, here's where everything lines up right there. Everything lines up. So going like this does not allow you to push against that force and get everything lining up, which is why if we're going like this and holding on, we're going to go like that trying to line up. We needed it to get some momentum here so that everything can torque and be in line, and then when we finish with relaxed extension. We're not pushing our arms through that line. See, that's why I'm trying to, I don't want you to force your arms this way. What I want to have happen is this torque and inertia that's working out is working based on this vertical and based on this here, boom. And so when you saw in Dustin Johnson's picture, he is angled out here, his hips have turned, the club is going this way, and what happens is the force is going up the shaft to allow the speed out. The force is not going along the shaft. That's why I'm telling you, his hands will not go there. The force is coming up the shaft because it's going that way. The force is not going that way, it's coming this way, and then the speed is across the shaft. See, so he's not going this way, he's going this way, so now the speed goes that way, but the force is working up the shaft and back with the scapula. Do you see where I'm going? That's why the hands are going to be coming back in with that tetherball analogy back around the front side. Boom. And then when we finish around the front side, what we're not doing is going over here because we didn't work behind the front side. That was our stable post. Does that make sense? And that's how it just goes, right? It's the people who can't even define that just smash it because they're able to use that front post and they find stability and then create the whip and the torque and the speed off of that. So let's hit a few more 3-woods and see if that early alpha will help you get that little spring back, because you said you've been going to the hybrid or whatever because you were probably
I forgot because now I hit the driver better than this guy.
Fair enough. But you got to get away from that, and you got to get into here a little better. Remember, so the two answers to the question of alpha are they shallow the club and get the club head's momentum building. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. That's much better. In the past, you would not let that club head's momentum be going. You kind of went one-to-one with it. Now the club head's going faster, which is fantastic.
That was like this.
Right. Okay, so I thought for a second. What drives this back? The pressure from the bottom leg.
Okay, the pivot here.
That presses this back. Do me a favor. Touch this open hand. Watch this. So I'm going to go into that leg, and then that leg pushes that shoulder back. You see what I mean? How you use this leg drives that shoulder back. That's the stretch. That's why it's hard. I'm not saying this is easy. Go ahead. Boom. And what you're doing is you're pushing up into that glute right there. So you're coming off the ground up into that shot. You're pushing vertically to improve your release. Okay? That's what I mean about the people who get excessive power. They're pushing out of the ground. They're not just going laterally. They're pushing out of the ground so that they can improve the rotation. Okay?
Right.
Great. Do it again. Great. Just relax that left wrist a little sooner in the transition.
Transition is up there.
Earlier alpha.
Relax.
Earlier, just relax the left wrist so that the momentum will get started sooner. It'll shallow sooner, and the club head tipping will be better for just natural speed.
Relax the wrist.
Earlier. Almost. Little punch. Try it again.
Little punch.
Yeah, the club just finished in the ground. What you need to do then
very negative angle of attack.
All you have to do though in that regard is just ease back from the left leg.
Ease back from the left leg.
Just extend back and let your scapula be driven back. Then you'll get out of the way. Your left hip internally rotates and your left scapula gets driven back. It's like here, this is kind of crazy, but watch. It's like a rodeo cowboy going like this. Just let that left side work back. See what I'm saying? It's just like this side just getting pushed back. There it is. So you're not going like this. Watch.
It's
you're not going here and then here. You're letting this side come back.
So much easier. I feel I should be playing golf with just my left hand, because it's so much easier to clear the left side like that. I feel so.
The one thing that does happen though is that you have to line up. So what you're doing is you're pulling past that line, and what you would want to do is you would want to go like this, line up, and then be back there. Okay, it's actually closer to a baseball swing than people will allow. See, because baseball's like this. Watch, they're on a vertical, like this. They go in on the toe touch, they heel hit, and then watch this. The head works back, and bam, drives this back.
Yeah.
See, this is good. What we don't want to do is get forward like that. It's more like baseball than people will allow.
Okay, right.
Baseball's better for golf than golf is for baseball.
Okay.
Because people are allowed to go like this in golf a little bit. This would be death in baseball. You have no chance. You have to be like this, not this. So baseball's worse, golf is worse for baseball than baseball is for golf. People go, oh, that's my baseball swing. Well, you just need to redirect it in the right kind of way.
Yeah.
But what happens is baseball with speed, accumulation, power, bat rotation, everything like that, there's a lot of great things. And you're swinging that heavier, so your forearms and hands got stronger to create some more momentum and speed. But golf can mess with baseball players because the pivot points in their feet are a little bit different. Earlier off. Whip it, earlier. Get the speed happening earlier. The left hand's still late. Good, there it is. Earlier. Yeah, get the sound back. So let me try to demonstrate something for you with the 3-wood.
Yeah.
And I've been real, so especially with this kind of dynamic. Watch here. So I want as lightweight. Look what I'm doing right here. What am I doing? Watch. What's moving more? The club's moving more.
Yeah.
See, now I'm not moving 1-to-1.
Okay.
That club's moving a lot more. See, that club is getting moving. I'm getting that club moving, getting it going, okay? So watch this from right here. Side on, right? So I want this. I want more alpha, right? So I want a side on hit. And what I want is a lightweight, high-speed collision. I'm thinking of that ball as like a bag of feathers. So there's nothing for me to be trying to tighten up about. I'm just gonna whisk it away. So watch this, just with torque. So I go here, started earlier, and hopefully I can create that torque.
Great sound there.
So one more in this too. That was even still hit like, I still pulled this way a little bit. I want it to go a little higher. So watch, soft. I want the club to get closer to the ground earlier. Not hitting the ground, but getting close shallow. That was better. See it rise?
Yeah,
See it rise?
it rose much more than for first one.
Because what I did was I let it get closer to the ground. On that other one, I pulled it, I cheated on it. I squeezed it a little tight and it shot out a little low.
Yeah, the second one, I really felt your early alpha.
Here,
you really focused on that, and
even
then
if it was
everything.
Upright, it didn't matter if it was upright. It had early alpha, so I was landing the plane and not jabbing it in the ground.
That was great.
Very good. And here,
Yeah.
you could see the difference on the flight of the ball. They were both about the same speed.
Yeah.
But one was way better, especially on the golf course as far as coming down on its target. That first one's going too flat.
Yeah.
That
was a
next
flyer.
one's coming, yeah, the next
Second one was much higher.
Yeah, much higher, and it was coming down in the right kind of way. Also, take a look how I was skidding it. See?
Okay.
I'm skidding it, so it's not just here and it's not going across.
Yeah.
I was really working, and that's a credit to a lot of the alpha. Okay? Because it's how the club's going to come in and land. If I'm coming in too narrow, but if I'm coming in shallower, that's what that alpha gives you. You're not throwing it, you're just letting the energy start it a little bit sooner.